Well, hello and welcome. This is hashtag where we get to tell you what's trending online, especially on X. My name is Vivian Oguche, and I'm so glad to have you hang out with me today. Guys, it's Friday, so this is going to be the last edition of the show for this week. I'm not flying solo. I'm going to be joined right now by the very well-known CG Bomi, I hope I got it right, CG Bomi Adebiyi Bennett. He is a renowned social commentator and he was very gracious to jump on the show with me today. Hi CG, welcome to hashtag.
Hello, nice to be here.
Yes, how are you today?
I'm good, and you?
Awesome, awesome. If you are excited as I am, let's hit the ground running, shall we?
Yes, I am.
All right,
It's
now,
good to be here.
good. So we begin with the very first hashtag, which is hashtag of Fubara. The suspended governor of Rivers State, Sim Fubara, is singing the praise of the very man who implemented an emergency rule in his state and suspended himself and his deputy. Now, Fubara was at an event and he said that what President Tinubu did was timely and was pivotal. In fact, he said that many thanks goes to the president who had imposed an emergency rule in Rivers State. He said, his words, that he prevented anarchy. Fubara also went on to say that there's no reason why himself and his Oga, that's what he calls Wiki now. He said there's no reason why himself and his Oga will not be peaceful and cordial towards each other. Now, if you go online, people are venting. I'm telling you. Some are saying that Wiki, what's his name now, Fubara, had betrayed his supporters. In fact, a very well-known broadcaster who is from Rivers State, she also is a columnist with the Vanguard. I'm sure you will know her, CG. I'm going to play a video by her, where she put online. She came down very hard on Fubara, called him weak, said that Wiki played him like he would play a flute and all of that. And some people are also saying that Fubara has lost the opportunity to end this thing called godfatherism in the Nigerian political sphere. So let's go online. I'll play you the video by this woman, broadcaster who is from Rivers, and then I'll also pull up some tweets online, and then we'll have you comment on it. Take a listen.
Wike chose well. He picked someone whom, in my opinion, he knew that the guy had a weak character. That is, even if the guy barks or causes problems, he won't be able to sustain it, and he can easily be put back in his books, which is exactly what has happened. Fubara did sound quite brave and gung-ho and, determined to end Wike's overbearing demands on Rivers State, but it didn't take too long when Tinubu and Wike stepped in to humiliate him and discipline him. He didn't respond like a warrior. This has always pissed me off because we come from a state where we have what we call war pedo houses. It's an Ijo thing and sin is an Ijo. It's a kind of like affirmation of manhood and the need to fight when necessary. And I've never seen Sim didn't fight when the shit really hit the fan. So I think that Wike knew all along that he was somebody who ultimately, even if he broke loose for a little while, would be reeled back in.
Her name is Donu Kogbara. That's who she is. Now, there are lots of people who are reacting to that particular video and who are reacting to the fact that Fubara is saying that he might come back soon, that the emergency rule might be lifted soon. He's also asking his supporters to forgive him. Why is he asking for forgiveness? Well, let's take a look at a couple of tweets and then we'll have CG jump on this particular hashtag. So this very first tweet regarding this matter is from Comrade Adnan, who says, Fubara is not dogged. He started what he could not finish. When Abubakar Rimi had issues with Malam Aminu Kanu, he resigned as governor and defected from the PRP to the NPP of Azikiwe to contest for re-election against Sabo Bankinzo, who clinched the PRP ticket. That's honor and integrity. Balarabe Musa was impeached as governor and his deputy took over, but he never for once apologized or pleaded with those behind his impeachment. It takes courage to do so. It seems Fubara is not either a student of history or is not a dogged fighter. CG, how would you react to this? Is Fubara a weakling or is he just being politically smart? What's your take?
My answer is neither here nor there.
All right. So how would you react to this whole drama that's unfolding right now?
They just wanted to keep people talking, and they've been able to achieve that.
Who are they? Who are they?
Well, the gladiators, Fubara, Wike, and every other person that had a political interest in River State. One thing I wanted to know, in as much as this is hashtag Fubara and all that,
yeah.
we would still like to be very factual about this.
Okay.
Fubara started a problem he didn't need at all. It was a self-inflicted problem. There was no reason for what happened in River State in the past 2 years to have happened at all. when you, even if you had the intention to usurp or let's say overtake and subsume your godfather, there are very strategic ways to go about it, and it's not by coming on the screens of TV to insult, and that makes you to look like a weakling.
Wow.
People that are supporting Fubara, that supported Fubara, because now I think everybody are taking a U-turn now. So people that supported Fubara were not supporting Fubara for Fubara. They
Okay.
supported Fubara for their own battles.
How did you come
And
to that
is-
conclusion, though?
Let me give you an example. The tape of the woman you just played.
Yeah.
I watched her interview on a TV station. I think it's Arise TV, and she said it point blank that she doesn't like the fact that Wike wins all the time.
Okay. So this
So
was a
it
fight
really-
against Wiki.
You see, everybody was not fighting because they loved Fubara. They were fighting their personal battles just to be able to win and put Wike in the dustbin of history. But the way you go about it does not make see, at the end of the day, it's just like you are riding a tiger. At the end of the day, you ride a tiger to attack people, to bite people, to eat people up. When everything has been finished and the tiger doesn't have any other person to bite or to eat, who do you think the tiger will now look onto? It's you that's on the back of the tiger.
In fact, you know, this imagery of riding a tiger is massive. I'm trying to figure it out in my head right now. Imagine riding a tiger. But let's talk about what Fubara just said. Is it true that President Tinubu actually saved Rivers State? He averted anarchy, is what he said. Do you think it was a good move? Really?
Yes. At the end of the day, Fubara has been able to settle down, take an holistic view of the whole situation, and the person he thought was the enemy, he now discovered that was the person that saved his life and saved his political career.
So that person you're referring to is the president?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. Let me tell you what will have happened. Fubara will have been impeached. Rivers State will have gone into a lot of protest. Some could have been violent. The military will have been called in. They will quell everything. But trust me, Fubara will have gone. Because once you are impeached, you're impeached.
Yeah.
And there were legal grounds for Fubara to be impeached. The Supreme Court said there was no governance. The Supreme Court affirmed that he was the one. You know, when the Supreme Court says something, it's become a fact. They said he was the one that destroyed, that engineered both the bombing and the destruction of the House of Assembly complex. So you have destroyed an arm of government. So that's an impeachable offense. You have withheld the salaries of legislators validly elected, people that were elected the same way you are elected. But you know, in Nigeria and in Africa, we have this KBAC kind of mindset. So because it's the governor, he can do and undo.
Yeah.
That's what every one of them was trying to tell us.
Let's come to this KBAC mindset you just talked about. Yeah. So some people are saying that Fubara missed the opportunity of becoming the poster boy for ending godfatherism in Nigeria and having politicians imposing on their proteges their own will, right? It's a problem in Nigeria, wouldn't you say, when it comes to the political sphere in this country? Do you think really it was true that Fubara missed the opportunity to end the influence of godfathers on their proteges? Amechi and Wike in focus.
I'll put a question back to you. So when Fubara had done that, and Fubara Fubara now spent 8 years, and by the time Fubara will be leaving office, so Fubara will have anointed another person, so that will be a new session of godfatherism again.
So it might never end.
There's some inevitabilities in life. Everybody must stand on the shoulder of someone to get to somewhere. But the way we see it in Africa, sometimes it amazes me, because sensationalism is our issue. We just want to sensationalize every issue. Even in your career, you will have someone who will discover you, pick you up, mentor you, for you to get to anywhere you want to be. That's right. But is that person doing it for the benefit of the nation or the masses or the company, as the case may be? That's what we're supposed to look at. Or is that person now overburdening you? That's when you put the person in check.
All right.
The former governor Udom Emmanuel did that to Akpabio. He was put in check, but we didn't see all this drama. Something is going on in Benue State. We are not saying drama. So many other states, things are happening. The predecessors are being maybe harassed or checked by their successors, but we're not saying drama. The only mistake Fubara made, people we don't want to face the fact. Wike may be lousy. Wike may be a very can be seen as an authoritarian person, but tell me one thing legally that Wike did that was wrong or criminal. I've asked people, did Wike destroy the assembly complex? Wike has a right as a person, so much as so many of us have the right to defend our territory. Somebody want to take you into political oblivion. You have the right to fight back. That's the law of life, survivor. So he was going to court. He could go on TV stations to harass, to talk bad about people, to insult people, to abuse people. That's a moral issue. That's not a criminal issue. So when you want to face the issues, you put Wike in his place. We all know Wike. So when you want to fight him, you don't fight him with the same template he uses to fight people. You don't come with a band because he always uses a band. You don't go to churches and get the microphone because that's Wike's style. You can beat him to his game. And some people thrive on controversy. I had someone, I said, this guy was fighting this guy and he was busy working in Abuja. He was busy commissioning projects. Everybody has been singing his praises in Abuja. But you have been faced with problems and challenges in River State. You don't commission the kind of projects he's commissioning. You've not turned River State around.
Yeah, so let me come in here as we wrap this particular hashtag up. You said something here because I was listening, with rapt attention. You said nobody can beat Wike at his game, right? You didn't know that there is a row brewing between Wike and his very good friend Seyi Makinde, the governor of Oyo State. Seyi has been silent. Even though Wike has been venting, Seyi just kept mum. And someone was saying that's how to play the game. That's how to beat Wike. Do you think Seyi Makinde is the man that's going to beat Wike at his game? At his game, really?
That's another drama because for me, I'm not carried away with that.
Okay.
They both have the same interest or similar interest. Their interest is to check the man called Atiku in the same PDP. So at the end of the day, those interests will converge.
All right.
So Seyi is just not, everybody knows Seyi Makinde. Seyi Makinde is another version of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
What?
They can use, there is another person that is very politically, he is a savage. When he was governor.
Can I ask you a question? So when you say...
Sorry, let me just finish this train of thought.
Okay.
But people did not know, but he was also, because he wasn't talking too much, but he was very, 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 I don't want to use a wrong adjective. That's Otumba Gbenga Daniels.
Aha.
You won't hear people like that just talk anyhow, but they know what they're doing. But don't take it also from Wike. He's smart, even as lousy as he could be. He's very smart. He goes ahead of you to the court. He will tell you what he wants to do, but he's doing three things because he has just told you one.
So I'm trying to get us to wrap up this particular hashtag. There's something you said. You said it more than once, that as lousy as Wike might be. So you seem to have the impression that he's a lousy man, yeah? And people might have that grouse against him for being lousy. That's one. Two, you said Seyi Makinde is another version of President Bola Tinubu, who people call the Maradona right now when it comes to politics. So is that a compliment? Are you saying Seyi Makinde is another one to watch out for? Really?
Yes, if you see what you've done, how he came into power, though he lost election, Bola Ahmed Tinubu has never lost an election.
Yeah.
But Seyi lost election, he lost primaries before he
became the governor, yes.
But he has been able, after Ajimobi, he's been the second person to have a second term in Oyo State, which is difficult to have. He's been someone that been able to say, this is the person I support in national politics, and gave all the votes to APC. The Senate, House of Rep, almost all the positions in House of Rep, and the presidency. But when it came to the state and House of Assembly, 100%, he floored everybody. So that's somebody that knows what he's doing.
All right.
And the same thing happened in Lagos when Ribadu was there. When Lagos gave it to what's it called? Our president, the former president.
Olusegun Obasanjo.
Goodluck Jonathan.
Oh, Goodluck Jonathan, okay.
So Asiwaju just thought Goodluck Jonathan could have it. They had an agreement. So everybody thought PDP had already gotten Lagos. But when it came to the state elections, the ACN, or I don't know what they were called that time, flood every other position.
Okay.
So that's the way I see it.
So let's wrap this up, yeah? So Fubara is telling his supporters to forgive him for whatever reason, I don't know. He's also saying that peace will return to Rivers soon and that there's every likelihood he might be the man at the helm. So do you see this happening anytime soon? Do you see his suspension being lifted? Is he going to come back as governor?
If he doesn't, with the way things are going, with the information from the grapevine, even if he doesn't come back before the 6 months, he's going to be there after the 6 months. I don't see any extension of the 6 months. People, like I said, when the chips are down, that's when you realize who your friends are.
Yeah.
So let me just cite an example again. People have been saying they use voice votes in the National Assembly during the election. Sorry, during the support or
for the emergency rule, yeah?
For the emergency rule.
Yes.
And even if it was voice votes, how come there was nobody with all the reps that left their own states and went to River State to be making money from him? How come we didn't hear anybody to say nay? So he has been able to realize that everybody was just fighting because of what they could get. They were just using him to fight a battle that was not really his own battle. They were just fighting their own battle. Everybody wanted to checkmate Wike either in River State or in PDP. That's not Fubara's battle. Fubara's battle is the governorship and the control of River State.
Absolutely.
So now he's been able to see that if he wants to write his name in gold, he has chosen to reconcile. Let me just focus on the Rivers people. Let me do projects, write my name in gold, and leave office. That's the best thing to do.
And that's a safe place for us to land.
Yeah.
That's a safe place for us to land on this particular hashtag. Thank you so much. Let's move on to the next hashtag.